So this is pretty much all you're gonna need. You got something to pull the pins, and then you got your 10mm socket, both of the connectors that come with it, and then nice enough, these things actually say on them, I'm trying to see if it gets in focus, left or right, which is pretty dope, in case you could not figure it out for yourselves. But yeah, we'll see. And then obviously you gotta have the wheel turned. Basically gonna have these three that you'll take off, and then the 10mm socket will be in there. Then there's a little bracket that you need to pinch out this way, and then it'll slide out. So now that I got those three pins out, just want to show you guys what's going on the inside. You more or less have this one connector that's going to be in there, that'll pop out, and then that 10mm socket that you'll have right there. And then you'll have to end up pinching this guy that's back there and pushing it out. Alright, turns out I missed an entire step. Gotta open up the hood. And we're gonna use our piggyback harness to go ahead and disconnect this. This was deceivingly hard to pull off. I mean, I could probably just be a little special, but ended up prying that off with this tool. Hopefully it's not that hard, but you know, this has been close to a year of ownership, and now I'm just taking it off, so. Alright, so connectors are all plugged in. Trying to really not forget anything else. Basically, I ended up running this wire right along there, made sure it's not rubbing anything, and then made sure it went over the beam, underneath the headlight, past the windshield washer reservoir, and then it ended up coming out from the bottom over here, getting plugged in. But before tightening anything down, I want to make sure it works. Cool. Now we're gonna do the other side. Actually, before I do the other side, I want to do a little quick back-to-back. That's what they look like in the daytime. Definitely enhances it a bit more. One last second tip though. When removing these three little clips, or four I guess, I would also get the one that's going to be right in the middle. It should be right about there. That's just going to allow you to rip out the liner a little bit more, and then that helps you with feeding the secondary wire. Also, you're going to end up using the connector that's with the original in there as the ground cable. But yeah, other than that, pretty solid. See long-term wise how they do, but $40, I'm not complaining. So I said I was going to keep it real. I installed the lights. It ended up working. Drove to the gym about like half an hour, I would say. And then, yeah, ended up on the way back. I actually had a light turn on the dash, and it ended up saying that the headlights had been disabled. And at the time, I didn't know what it was. So then just drove back. Idiot light was basically on the entire time. Got home, did a little bit more of a diagnosis, and then Pop showed up. He helped me out too. Turns out the directional projection lights weren't turning with it, even though on the way back they were turning with the car. So unfortunately, I got work and stuff, so I just decided to take them off and then put the OG ones back on, the OEMs. Idiot light went off, so has something to do with the harness and wiring, because everything else worked. Still trying to figure out whether or not I'm going to troubleshoot it, or I am actually just probably going to return it and then get different ones. We'll see. So basically just ended up removing the lights, placing them back on again, and I still had a warning pop up basically indicating that my headlights were not functional. They had been disabled. The adaptive steering, so the actual thing that turns my headlights, something within the actual wiring harness, it doesn't allow it to do that. So I was looking online trying to figure out other stuff that worked out, and there's only one other company that seems to do all right with it, but
the harness looks the exact same, so I don't know if I can trust it or not. So until now, unfortunately, it seems like there's been a lot of people who've had success with it for some reason. That just wasn't my case. Maybe the way that it was wired or something like that. Maybe the ground and the positive had been switched or something like that. Um, I couldn't tell you. I'm not really that well versed within electrical, but I figured I'd share my story. And yeah, we'll see what I end up doing next. But yeah, later.